Good afternoon. It is January 13th, 2010, or 2010, whatever you want to call it. This is my first video blog in a while. I was gone over Christmas break. And today I just want to reflect upon the year 2009 and talk about what we should expect in 2010. First of all, I really think that 2009 was a defining year in that you really saw this transformation in the way Americans view their government and the way Americans view the two political parties. You saw countless numbers of people like myself who were former leftists and converted, and so to speak, to the Libertarian Party. I think this was a huge year for libertarianism. 2010 is going to be an even bigger year for libertarianism. 2009, you saw political activism grow and populism with the town hall meetings, and that was mostly over the healthcare debate, which is still going on. But I think the thing that contributed the most to this feeling by many Americans that the left-right paradigm is no longer applicable is the fact that Obama has largely continued the Bush policy or the Bush philosophy of governance, and that is the expansion of the federal government, the erosion of liberty, and constant warfare. I think Obama announced today that he wants to add $33 billion to the defense budget for wars. So we've seen a continuation of Bush. You know, we voted for Obama because we didn't want Bush anymore, and what we got instead was Bush on steroids. That's essentially what Obama is, and I think a lot of Americans have woken up to that. Also in 2009, I think the internet boomed. We saw countless numbers of people, like you and I, just on the internet having conversations with each other, using blogs. I think this was a huge year for the alternative media. The mainstream media right now is dying, and that's a good thing. We need that to happen. And also in 2009, of course, we saw a weakening dollar. We saw gold reach an all-time high. At one point it reached $1,200 an ounce. Now it's at around $1,150. And I think in 2010 we're going to see more of that. So 2010, what should we expect? Well, you never know. I mean, it's impossible to predict things, but we can look at, in the words of Gerald Celente, look at trends and make guesstimates based on that. I think inflation is really going to start showing its head in 2010. Hyperinflation, no, not yet, although it's possible. But I think we're definitely going to be seeing a rise in prices. Unemployment, I don't expect to get better. Why? Because we're not letting the economy heal itself. We're not letting the free market work. You can't create jobs when businesses aren't hiring people. And businesses aren't going to hire people. The government keeps taking away their resources for the public good. Healthcare will probably be passed. It's going to be a crappy bill. Democrats will hate it. Republicans will hate it. Everybody will hate it. But that probably will be passed. Obama's going to continue fighting wars. We're going to see an expansion of the war in Afghanistan. We might see some action against Iran, maybe Yemen, in response to this underwear bomber. So look for that. The big thing, I think, is cap and trade. And Obama's really going to push hard for this because Europe wants it very bad. The EU has been placing a ton of pressure on the United States to pass the cap and trade bill. I think other world elites also want this cap and trade bill. There are a lot of interests behind cap and trade. The whole climate industrial complex, which has often been referred to in the alternative media, has an interest in seeing cap and trade passed. All sorts of people want this legislation to be passed in Congress, and I think we're going to see a huge push for that in 2010. But, of course, outside of cap and trade, the other biggest thing would be the November elections. And one thing you really want to look out for is, again, libertarianism. As libertarianism, whether the Republican establishment likes it or not, is taking over the Republican Party. And we're going to see, we already got Ron Paul in Congress, we're going to probably see Rand Paul win in Kentucky. And so he's going to be the sole libertarian in the Senate. Or we might see other candidates rise out of nowhere and run either as third-party independent candidates or challenge the Republican incumbent and defeat them. So watch out for that. I think the internet is going to continue spreading ideas and spreading libertarianism, spreading the ideas of liberty in general, and that we as individuals have natural rights to life, liberty, and property. So while there may be a lot of negative things going on, like the weak dollar, like unemployment, like healthcare, and this push towards cap and trade, I think there are a lot of positives going on right now because of people like us, ordinary people who are going on the internet, spreading our ideas in a democratic way, in a way that encourages the pursuit of knowledge, and that's very encouraging. And I think I'm still very optimistic. I know some people have given up hope on the United States. I understand their reasoning, but this youth movement that I see going on right now and expanding as I speak encourages me a whole lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that progresses over the new year. Anyway, that's all. I'd like to talk more about climate change and some of these other issues in a later blog. We'll keep it to that right now. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.